Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and today we have a deck of panning update. If you don't know what deck of panning is, then you should keep watching. And if you do know and you want to find out, then obviously you should also keep watching. Deck of Panning is a project that was started here on YouTube by Emily of Emily and Max, and she got the idea from a book style version of this with Books with Maddie. So the idea is you have a deck of cards. Every month the prompts change per card, except for the face cards. And you just try to pick items that go along with those prompts and have some fun. So I always try to have at least 5 at a time. So I always draw 5 cards, unless the cards tell me to draw more, even if I didn't finish all of my prompts from the previous time. So last time I had not finished one of my prompts. There was a blush that I was still working on because it was a long haul item and I said I wanted to finish it or get 50 uses in, whatever came first. So I had that plus 5 other prompts, and let's see, am I going to only be down to 5 for this coming month? So let's start with that long haul item because it's been in here the longest. So here is the container. So I had put in here 2 blushes, or part of 2 blushes that I repressed and mixed into a really nice blush color, I think. And so this is what we have this time. So yeah, in case you're like, what happened? The blush multiplied. Well, I finished what was in here, and this is what is now in here. If you want to know more about what is in here and watch me make it, I'm actually going to have that video coming up in 2 days from now, so there's a reason to subscribe if you haven't, so you can see. But yes, I did actually finish the blush. I finished it in 34 uses, so I did not get to the 50 use mark, but I did not need to. And also when I finished it, when I brought it in for this project, it was 55 grams and then it ended at 53 and 88 grams. So, I used 1 and 1200 grams in those 34 uses. So not bad. All right, next. This is what I'm gonna just go ahead and put a picture up on the screen. But for mini or sample, I chose this pigment that was just a freebie that was with a purchase. And I want to use it 5 times, which is a lot for me for a loose pigment, especially something that's, there's not much left. I wasn't sure if I'd finish it in 5 uses. Maybe if I had done all 5 uses, like all over the lid, but I did one with it all over the lid in an Instagram Chooses My Makeup video, which is already up. I also used it as a liner type of thing. Like I did it over a dark shade and put it on top. Did I do on the lower lash line like that? I don't know. I definitely played around with it, and just patting it on the corner for like a little bit of shiftiness. So yeah, there's still some left. Yeah, I still like it fine. It didn't change that much in weight. It was 6 and 66 grams. Now it is 6 and 64 grams. So, that was 5 uses. Okay. Next, I had the Joker card. And so I decided something I would not want to do is to hit pan in one of the mattes in my favorite eyeshadow palette. Just because, it's one thing with the shimmers, but it feels like with the mattes, just, that would take a lot more uses and it makes me feel like, oh no, like it's so precious. I'm like, well, hitting the pan would, help make sure I'm actually using my favorite palette as much as I like it. I had a feeling it would either be in this orange shade, which did get a bit of a dip because I was trying with that. I also was trying with a pink a little bit, but then I really just was focusing hard on this yellow, and you should be able to see that there is a pan. So I did it. I knew I was getting close because I had pan on the shimmer, so I could kind of tell about how deep they would go. So I did not write down how many uses it took me. I basically was using it almost every day as an inner corner type of shade. And so it's like, could yellow possibly work with this? Sure. Anyway, I mean, it really does. It works well. So, you know, I am still really liking this palette, and I also used the palette in that Instagram video as well with the pigment, and they went well together. Next, for focus, I'm almost always focusing on eyeshadow, and especially on when I bring in new eyeshadow to make sure that they're getting used a bunch of times to see how I feel about it. So I chose to bring in this eyeshadow palette, the Fairy Tale Fairies. I have not finished my 5 uses per shade, which is my goal that I do for all my new stuff. But I decided to kind of, you know, get myself a little further on that goal by making sure everything was used at least 3 times. You're gonna notice the shade is out right now. That's just because putting it back in and taking out is sort of a pain, but it's right here. I'm using it in something else, so that's all. But yeah, I will go through just real quickly, making sure you can see everything. All right, so in this first row here, these have 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3. Then we have 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, and I think it's 4. It's hard to tell. It's either 3 or 4. I'll probably just do an extra use on it when it's time just to make sure. But yeah, so you can tell I made at least 3 uses on everything, and you know, things are definitely getting worn away. Like they had little imprints in the mats, and you know, they're harder to see. All right, glittery. I chose my Ladybird, which again, I'm gonna do a picture because this might not do it like this, but the pan falls out like all the time. So I chose to use it 10 times. I am trying to finish it up this year, so we'll see. When I rolled it in, it was 12 and 8200 grams, and now it is 12 and, well, okay. After 10 uses, it was 12 and 7700 grams, but it's actually a little bit less than that now because I've used it a couple more times or so since then, but we're just gonna go ahead for the 10 uses and say that. It technically went up a little bit in weight and then went to what it is because I added in some face oil to help rehydrate it. So, you know, maybe I would have actually lost more weight than what you're hearing right now. So I'm not sure. I did not do a before weigh, or did not weigh it before adding the oil. So I'm not sure. All right. Finally, I had to use this cream. Well, it's actually not cream. Why am I saying cream? It's either cream or liquid. I chose this liquid blush to use it 10 times, basically trying to get myself over my like fears of it kind of thing. I think I have. I have it on today, although I have another blush on top just because, get this, part of my problem is it's so pigmented that it was kind of hard to control. And I'm like, well, 10 uses should help kind of get me there, right? So yes, today I probably could have used a little bit more because whenever I put powder then on after, it just tones things down. So, you know, before powder, it was basically perfect. So I just need to add a little bit more, I think, next time. But yeah, I've discovered that if I put it on near the start of doing my makeup before eyeshadow, and then it kind of dries down a little bit. So then that way, when I do set my face with powder, it doesn't get all patchy, which was one of my issues with it because normally I do blush after eyeshadow. So this is one where I need to do it before, and then I can layer other blushes with it or whatever I want to do with it, and it's fine. So that helps a lot. Now I know like how to use it. I know I can make it really, you know, less colorful or whatever on my cheeks, or have it be a lot more if I want. Yeah, I did not bother weighing it because I knew I'm using the smallest dot at a time, so it's not going to have changed much, if anything. So that is what we have for last time. So now you're going to have another version of me who's going to pull the cards and pick new products. So I get to pick 5 new cards, like I said, because I have finished everything. And let's see what I get. Please not the Joker again. I was about to eat lunch and I saw that the board was updated. So we're going to go ahead, draw the cards, and make the choices. Fingers crossed I don't get the Joker again. All right, this is what we're looking at for the board. I'm just doing a brief little look to see if there's anything I think I can't do, but I think in general it's all good. So let's go ahead. I haven't done anything here yet, so this is just from before. So let's do again. All right. It seemed like I kept the cards a bit, but oh well, it's fine. So we've got 8 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. Actually, here, let's just do it like this. Whoop. So 8 of diamonds, copycat. Okay, so that's where I'm trying to figure out what someone else has been panning and copy them. And then for the 7 of diamonds, we have lip product, which is great. I'm trying to make good use of lip products and use some up this year. 8 of clubs, metallic. All right, I'm sure I can find something like that. 2 of spades, out of your hands. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to put some sort of pole up. And then a red king, no pan left behind. All right, let's go ahead and make those choices. The first item that I picked for copycat is this NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk, because Ravneet has been panning it for a while as well. This is actually a new one for me. I got it near the end of last year, and I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. I've been often using it as an eyeshadow base, so I want to keep it up, and I made a goal of 20 uses for this, which would be most of the month, so, you know, I feel like that's a good one. Then for lip product, when I was going through, this might be leaking. I don't know, or maybe I just didn't close it up very well the last time, so I guess we'll see. But this is the Milani lip oil in the Blackberry Agave, or shade 190. And I would like to use this 10 times. I know it's not a lot, but I am working on other things, and, you know, it'll also let me see if it is leaking. I'm not trying to finish it like super fast, just at some point this year. So I guess kind of a little bit of a focus that I picked for products is items that I have liked or been using, but they were not really focuses for projects recently, and I want to make sure that they're not getting forgotten. Like this lip oil, I was using the other lip oil that I got that I didn't like as much, and although I like it more now. And so it's like, oh, well, I don't want to forget about the favorite one, you know, just because I was using that one for a while. So those are the first 2. Then for metallic, something else I've been thinking about when I was filming another video, this Marvelous Mauves. So I'm counting this as metallic. Like I feel like the pinky part of this is like a metallic type of thing. I realized that I had repressed the second shade, but then I can't really get this to focus properly, can I? Let's see, can we do this? Oh, wants to focus on that. There we go. Maybe. That second shade, I had repressed it, and I would like to hit pan in it again. I don't know how many uses that will take, because at one point I thought maybe I could try to finish up this eyeshadow. So maybe after I hit pan, you know, in whatever uses, if I feel like it wasn't that hard, then maybe I'll keep going and, you know, work on finishing this up in this half of the year. So we'll see. For out of my hands, I decided, just like I'm working on other things, like I have certain blushes that I've been working on, which means that I'm not really using other blushes that I have, and they're just kind of sitting there. So these are 3 blushes that are just basically sitting in my collection most of the time right now. So I'm going to post on my Instagram right now, which, you know, by the time you're seeing this, it would have already happened and I will have the vote and all that. But we're going to see which blush people want me to work on, and I'm going to do it. I might also ask them how many uses. I think I might take that out of my hands too, because part of me wants to maybe take the easy way out because I'm also trying to work on other blushes. But yeah, I think I might let them decide. I'll put some options. So maybe you would have already seen this and know what I'm talking about. And then finally, for No Pan Left Behind, I was thinking about my Citrus Punch palette because I haven't finished all the uses for that with bringing it into my collection. But I'm far enough along on it that it seemed like cheating. So I decided a better one. This palette, it's the C'est La Vie from the Dots. I have not finished any of the shades yet for this, so they would all, need some work, and that way, like, they actually all will have No Pan Left Behind. So I did try to make a little mark so that I know which, it's like these are the tally marks from before this, and then, I need to have one after that line for this deck of panning project. But yeah, some of the shades are kind of similar to things I am working on in another project, but it's fine. It just means maybe I can use them along with it, or it'll just take me a little longer, but it's only one use, for each is what I'm going to try to do right now. I might end up doing more, and that's fine, but yes. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next month. If you're interested in seeing my updates, please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I will see you then. Bye!